Bayern Munich minus 300 against Frankfurt. Plus 650 on the road. The draw is 5-1. Anthony, uh, you have some thoughts here on this game. You think that Bayern should pace one of the teams chasing them in the title race. But you also have some, I guess, bigger picture bets on the Bundesliga that you want to at least explore. So let's start with the game, and then you can kind of lead that into what you think could be worth a play here as we head down the stretch run. It doesn't look like our Minds top four bet is going to cash, by the way.
No. I wish Mines was running like Union this year, where all their shots went in. Imagine that, like just like a paper tiger. Union is an unserious threat. The markets know that. They're sitting in second, whatever. But first, I'll talk about the match. Then we can have maybe more of a conversation about Leipzig. Bayern has looked really flat. First two matches coming out of the World Cup break. They created 1.5 expected goals at home against Cologne, really poor. And they created less, right around 1 expected goal against Leipzig and at Leipzig, and really didn't have much attacking punch. I think that there is a danger in overreacting to a couple of games in the short term here. This is a home hammer spot for me for Bayern. They went to Frankfurt earlier in the season and beat them, on the opening day, put up over 4 expected goals. It was a complete demolition. And I know that Mane is out for this match, and I know that Choupo-Moting is probably not the best first choice striker, but this Frankfurt team, man, I know they own me. I watched both of their games against Schalke and against Freiburg. They got completely outplayed in both games. I then watched Schalke play Leipzig a few days later, and Schalke looked like they didn't belong on the same pitch as Leipzig. The difference in controlling the game and stopping entries into the penalty area. Freiburg outshooting them by quadruple today, creating over 1.6 expected goals. Freiburg completely dominating a match. A Freiburg team that isn't even really built to do that. I mean, they like to play without the ball. They like to run. They like to press. They don't like to be like a possession dominant, slow build-up team. And Frankfurt couldn't stop them from doing that today. It was a remarkably bad showing for Frankfurt. I think they are so fraudulent. And I am betting against them in a home hammer spot for Bayern. So I took some Bayern first half minus 3/4 of a goal. I think they roll here. I don't hate a minus 1.5 either. I think this is a good Bayern buy low against a fraudulent Frankfurt team. But I think when we look bigger picture here, we don't know the status of Mane and when he'll be back. He is apparently back in training now. But like Bayern looks flawed. And if you go to the data on the season and you kind of just sort for when Marco Rose became manager at Leipzig, Bayern is about plus 1.4 XG difference per 90. Leipzig's about plus 1.25. That's not that different. And Leipzig is only 4 points behind them now. They will play again at Bayern, so that has to be factored in. But, if you can find 15, 20 to 1, Bayern doesn't look like they're really strengthening. The additions that they have made, Daley Blind, I don't think he fits what they want to do at all because he's limited athletically. Deep lying playmakers are not their problem. He's not adding much defensively. So I don't know what that adds. And I don't think they're addressing their midfield issues. So could they get caught here? I don't think it's out of the question if Leipzig continues to perform this way. And look, Leipzig's healthy. Werner's back looking good. And Kunku will be there the rest of the season. This is a attack that's good enough. Question is the defense good enough? Probably not in the end, but at 15, 20 to 1, I may be looking to take a Leipzig shot here to win this league.
Kind of reminds me of back in the very beginning of our still blossoming friendship, right as the Bundesliga was going to be the first league to come back from the pandemic. I was gung-ho on betting Borussia Mönchengladbach back to back. They were 70 to 1 to catch Bayern. I mean, the league was off for a couple months. Who knows how these teams are going to come back from a pandemic? No crowd. Gladbach was really good.
Gladbach played well.
Yeah, and then their first game was against Bayern. So I was like, all right, this is you get this game, and maybe you can charge up the standings and I don't think Bayern let up a goal for the rest of the season.
They didn't lose a game. I know
Yeah,
they
didn't
had. I think
lose.
they had like 6 wins and a draw, or
It was
7 wins.
insane.
Yeah,
it was
But
it was over.
Gladbach was back when they were good. I mean,
Yeah,
they were.
it was
they finished
over
in the
so
top
quick.
4. Then they made the Champions League. Okay, I'll stop here because I'm
Yeah.
just reminiscing on the glory days.